Virginia voters approved a new congressional map that could help Democrats pick up as many as 4 House seats in this year's midterms. But a judge in Virginia put a temporary hold on the state's redistricting efforts, so this blocks the new districts from taking effect so far. We will stay on top of that. But the new map you can see on the right-hand side of your screen would give Democrats an advantage in 10 of the state's 11 House districts. A dramatic shift, as you can see, from the previous 6-5 split on the left, and it would mark a major blow for Republicans in this nationwide redistricting battle. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joins us. So first of all, let's talk about this referendum. It was passed by a narrow margin. What will the impact be if, in fact, this judge's ruling gets overturned?
Yeah, well, let's look at what we learned last night. You see that narrow margin that you mentioned? Just to give you some context here for folks, if I compare that, let's say, to Spanberger's relatively comfortable win just last fall in the governor's race, right? The Democrat there, you see, ran well ahead of the yes vote, which was backed by Democrats, as you noted. So much tighter there by comparison. One of the reasons is that this was really pulled over the top, the yes side, by heavily Democratic areas. And so when you see the map like this, let me do this and turn this state on its side. And what I'm going to show you is these bluish areas where yes passed, how many of the votes came from Northern Virginia, right up here, right? The higher bars means more votes cast there. That's what really pushed the yes measure over the top, those heavily Democratic areas. And the story that tells is a really partisan vote, at least on the Democratic side, whereas a lot of these more rural areas, maybe a lot of Republicans there worried they would lose political power or seats in Congress, of course, really almost did outperform what Donald Trump got in the state.
Wow. That visual is very helpful. So we obviously know that this has been a state-by-state referendum here. I feel like we've heard about California. Up heard about Texas. Where are we right now? Who has the advantage?
So I'm not sure it's clear that anybody really does, but the context of that is important. So let me just pull up, for reference, the 2024 House map. And I'll just start drawing on the board here because, as you noted at the top, we see potential Republican pickups here in Texas. And we've seen potential Republican pickups in Missouri. Maybe they get another one out of North Carolina. But Democrats with their Prop 50 referenda, you might see Democratic gains there in California. Now we're talking, as you mentioned at the top, of course, about Virginia, all trying to balance this out. Couple of big things here. Number one is, I always say, remind folks, this is unusual. We do not typically have big redistricting battles in the middle of a decade, because we usually do this after a census. And the other part, as you head into the midterms, is just really close. You've got, the Democrats almost with about half the House leaning towards them. But overall, there's going to be about 10% of seats that go into the midterms right now as really competitive. If that feels like it's a low number, it is. There just aren't a lot of swing districts. This may contribute to that as well.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you for explaining.